Now I got to ask you about Julia Roberts.
Oh,
Okay, I'm going to do a longer piece on this because I'm fascinated, but like I can't recall a time in recent memory since COVID ended that we have seen so many major movie stars with major films released theatrically bomb at the box office. Was one. Julia Roberts, who did a megaton of publicity for this film after The Hunt by a very well, it seems like it's trying to be a tar or something, but it's
hmm.
not as well executed. It's bombed. It initially opened in 6 theaters as a limited release, which is a strategy, expanded to a little bit over 1,200 theaters this past weekend and averaged $1,200 per theater. Rob, what does this tell us about Julia Roberts and the state of the movie star in America?
A couple of things. The movie star in America is no longer what it was. And I think that's a good thing too. Those days of getting $20 million a movie are over. We saw recently the Brad Pitt and George Clooney movie tanked. Jennifer Lopez, Kiss of the
Kiss of the
Spider
Spider
Woman,
Woman tanked.
disaster. And so this is the new norm. The other mistake that I think movie stars are making, and Julia is making here, is she's forgot that she's a movie star and she wants to
Mm.
be an actress, and she's not. You don't hire Julia Roberts because she's a great actress. You hire her because she's Julia Roberts, and the public want to see her being Julia Roberts. And so Pam Anderson's allowed to do this in Showgirls, but she's the only one. Everybody else, you have an image, you have a reputation, you give your audience what they want. And when you stop doing that, when you get too arrogant, then you lose your audience. We've seen this with pop stars. I remember one year when Madonna went on tour and she decided she was not going to sing the hits. No, no, no. She was just going to sing her new material. It was a disaster. We want the hits. We want Pretty Woman. We want Julia with the big smile from ear to ear. We don't want broody, grumpy Julia trying to get an Academy Award, another Academy Award. We should point out she does have one from Erin Brockovich. And so I think she started to believe her own hype here, and she thinks she's Meryl Streep. She's Julia Roberts. Make rom-coms. Make me laugh. Make Pretty Woman Part 2. That's what she should be doing.
Is there a Pretty Woman Part 2 coming
There
out this
should be.
December?
There should be. They didn't ever do it, but there should be. But that's where she will make her money. Going back in nostalgia and those movies that we love to see her in. And let's be honest too now, Julia makes her money from, is it Lancome, from
Yeah.
the fragrance company. So she's making millions and millions of dollars of doing that. And I think this is like a hobby now. It's not a hobby to the movie studio. They hired Julia because they wanted the publicity, the attention of a movie star, and she didn't deliver. And I don't think she delivered acting either. The reviews are pretty weak on it.
They're bad. They're
Hire
bad.
Julia Roberts because she's a movie star. Don't hire her because you want a great actress.
You know, this is fascinating to me. We're going to get into Jared Leto in 1 second, but we are seeing what were once considered bulletproof, like guaranteed stars who could deliver, who would, if not critically, have just about every project be phenomenally successful, you know, at least, or rather critically successful, at least be commercially successful.
Yeah.
Julia tanked, Leo tanked, Taylor is tanking
Yeah. Yes,
critically.
yeah. The Rock. The Rock.
The Rock tanked. Great point.
Gone.
His Oscar bait film came and went, and he had a ton of press too. He was the cover of the New York Times Magazine.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, it must be shocking to them. I've worked with a lot of movie stars, including I used to rep Jennifer Lopez, and they can't believe that the world has changed. And being on social media is so below Julia Roberts. She's trying.
I know.
But that's what Tom Cruise tries to be on social media, but he doesn't really want to do it. And they just are absolutely perplexed that Kim Kardashian and these young influencers and these people that we are talking about, it is not them. If you look at the covers of the magazines now, it's not them anymore. The time has moved on, and they have not, and they have enough money that they should just gracefully retire. But playing the old game with the old keys is not going to unlock the new doors.
You're so right. You know, the cover story of the Hollywood Reporter this week goes to how Hollywood has finally embraced the creator in the digital lane. They understand the power and the commerce that influencers and YouTube creators bring, et cetera, et cetera. And it's not the old ways. You can't execute the old publicity strategies with an A-list movie star and expect, even Brad Pitt's F1, which was an Apple production, they spent the most money on any production. They were on the edges of their seat because they didn't know if Brad Pitt, despite all of his stardom and his star power, could deliver for them. This is how broken the model is.
It's broken, and it used to be an easy fix, didn't it? Hire a big movie star. If you've got a script that isn't very good, or you've got a story, a movie that's not very good, you hire a big movie star and it'll be not a critical hit, but it's going to make its money back. That's no longer true. And I think too, streaming has changed everything. I can get such good quality shows now without leaving my house. Why am I going to go all the way uptown to watch a movie with Julia Roberts, who I've never really thought was a great actress, but she is a movie star? The world has changed, and we've jumped on it. We're doing our podcasts. We're on social media now. It's a pain in the bottom to do this stuff. It really is like it's easier just to go on one show and you sell your movie. You gotta sell it. And a lot of these celebrities don't want to do that. They think it's below them. They don't want to give interviews. They don't want to really talk. And I think that's part of Julia's problem too. I don't know who she is. I don't know anything about her. I don't know her politics. I don't know what she stands for. I don't know what she does.
We do know her politics, though, because she did that Kamala town hall with Oprah Winfrey.
She did.
Remember?
She did that.
And I think she lost a lot of people the same way Taylor lost a lot of people throwing her hat in the ring. And by the way, to your point about the way publicity works now, when you watch it in mainstream media, the Today shows, the Access Hollywoods, Watch What Happens Live. Julia did a one-on-one on Watch What Happens Live with Andrew Cohen, as we call him here. I don't know if you happen to see it, but among the games he played with Julia was, I'm going to give you a line of dialogue from one of your movies, and you, Julia, are going to tell me what that movie was from. Can you guess the movie that you made? And then Julia Roberts, of course, got everyone right because she's a mega narcissist movie star, just my opinion. And Andy was like falling all over himself. Like he seemed a little,
Andy Cohen had his face.
Julia, oh my God, you got it right. You got Pretty Woman right. And you're watching this at home and you're like, these two are effing ridiculous.
It hurts them, though. It really hurts them. They think having soft questions helps them. It doesn't. I remember when Andy had Sarah Jessica Parker on his show, who's one of his best friends, right after the Kim Cattrall situation exploded. He didn't ask. He asked questions about her shoes, what she likes for dinner, but he didn't ask the one question. And I think that's what Julia has sort of done too. She has created a veneer. She keeps us at bay, and she only lets us in when she wants us to spend our money.
She's too big to become personable in any way.
She's too big a star, and she won't play this game. And now she's trying to a little bit, like she's putting a few pictures up on Instagram, but we all know that it's not genuine. I think I just got to it. It's about being authentic. And I don't mind if you're really awful, but you're authentic. I love a villain. I love a good villain. Julia won't be the villain, but she won't be the hero. And none of it adds up to me. And I think that there's so many options now that to go and see a modest actress in a role that she only got because she's famous isn't worth
in a movie
money.
that seems like a slog in a dirge.
Yeah.
It's a message movie. And
put
it's
her into Mamma Mia, or give me I want to see I'm Dancing with the Stars. I want to see Julia do something funny, something wild.
Go on The Masked Singer. Just do something that, like that. So, oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you, what was this making me think of? You just reminded me of something like, oh, do you know who's a master at this? And I think you put your finger right on it because he is authentic. A master at not giving away much of his personal life at all, not active on social media, but is beloved because he is the real deal. And everybody who's ever dealt with him says he's nice, is Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. He's on Broadway at the moment.
And he's the reviews are terrible.
Terrible.
And it doesn't matter because people love Keanu. Everybody roots for him.
That's what I used to say to people I worked with, whether it be Alicia Keys or Jessica Simpson. I was John Bon Jovi's publicist. And I was like, at the end of the day, you're not really in the entertainment business. You're in the friendship business. And people want a friend. And the celebrities that get that, you pay all that money to hear me sing my greatest hits. You want me to sign something? Absolutely. Yes, I will. Those are the celebrities that are going to survive this massive change. Julia's going to look like a dinosaur. And with movies don't movie producers aren't charities. They do it for one reason, to make a lot of money.
Yep.
And so the next time someone's going to hire Julia, they're going to go to their computer and they're going to look up her box office for her last few movies. And then they're going to see how much money she wants, her hair and makeup bill, her car bill, her first class or, I guess, private plane
jet
bills.
bill.
I'm not paying it. If you can't deliver a massive, massive opening, you're just not worth it. And I can hire somebody straight out of Juilliard who's probably a better actress, and she doesn't come with that complication, and she'll deliver as big a box office as you.
Now, before we end on our movie segment, there's so much we can get to, but I want to talk about Jared Leto, who had a huge flop with Tron Ares, if I'm saying it correctly. This devastating Hollywood Reporter headline: "No one asked for this reboot. Tron may mark end of Jared Leto's franchise leading days." The implication, I believe, herein, also, I didn't get to read the whole piece, is that the accusations by at least 9 women of grooming and sexual abuse that Jared Leto undertook with them, beginning when some of them were just teenagers, has a stink on him that will not go away.
Good.
What are your thoughts?
Good. I hope it never, ever goes away. And instead of having grace and retiring with all your millions of dollars, what did you do? You thought you could just carry on like nothing had happened. It's the Prince Andrew thing. We're repeating the show. It's great. We're going to go back to the beginning. It's that arrogance that instead of taking a moment to reflect, or maybe you shouldn't be making movies anymore. Maybe you should be doing other stuff. Maybe you should be doing nothing. But they don't think like that. So for him to go forward with Disney, I believe Disney were the producers of this too, and a multi-$100 million movie was just so dumb. And it's shocking to me that nowhere in that process to get a movie from a script to actually being released takes years and a lot of people. One person, not one person, stood up and said, Jared Leto, of all the people, why don't we get Bill Cosby too? Like, I mean, what is the thinking here? It makes no sense to me. There's a stink on him. And the reason there's a stink on him is it feels really authentic. He's an odd guy. He's a weird guy. He's always been a bit of a creepy
Dark,
character. And now that this Hollywood Reporter story, they're on fire, by the way. They did an expose on Kevin Costner. Like I think they were shown as the editor. It's fantastic.
Such good work over there.
I'm reading every word of it. And it really, as a friend of mine says, and I love this expression, when they bite you, it leaves teeth marks. Like if they bite you, it leaves teeth. So you do too, Maureen. You can leave.
Oh, you're so sweet, Rob. What can I say to that? I just want to add one thing. You know, in the aughts, there used to be this middle part of the arc when a celebrity was caught in some sort of compromising position, or drugs, or, you know, Mel Gibson, you know, sugar tits, and, you know, the whole thing, anti-Semitic remarks, and then rehabilitation, or I'm going back to movie making, and all that's behind me. Either rehab or mental health check-ins, whatever. Like, that was the part you just plug and played. Like, oh, whoops. That wasn't me. I didn't say that. I didn't do that. I didn't commit that crime. I'm going to rehab. And then you just like shut yourself away for like, it could be in your house. Who cares? Everybody knew it was a joke, that it was just part of like the PR thing you had to do. And now there's this kind of arrogance, which is wild, because as you said, we're in the old ways are broken. The model is smashed to dust. We all see what we see, and we talk to each other about it online. They just skip the middle part, and they're like, hey, I'm just going to go on with my life, whether it's at Buckingham Palace or I'm Jared Leto with my cult, whatever.
Yes. After Meghan Markle's Diana video, she went to a humanitarian.
Yes.
Don't do that. There's no shame to it. But what's going to happen here is that the public smart, we're really smart about this. There's so many options now. We can decide who we're going to give our money to. You know, Meghan's line is a disaster. These movies are a disaster. We don't have to show up. And the minute you get too big and you forget that, and it happens a lot, not just with celebrities, but people in the business world, when you forget that truth, then your career's over. And I think that, I don't know if there's any coming back for these individuals we've been talking about today. And it's primarily because of them, lots of crimes, lots of awful behavior is forgiven very quickly in America. As a Brit, I can say one of the joys about Americans is they do forgive, but you've got to say sorry.
And you got to mean it.
You've got to mean
We've
it.
got to really
They don't
believe
mean
that
it.
you are.
And these are meant to be actors, Maureen. They should know how to at least pretend that they
I
mean it.
know, right? Maybe that explains the like bum reviews for Julia's new Joyride. Jones Road Beauty has revolutionized makeup routines for good. Created by makeup legend Bobbi Brown, their products are lightweight, they blend easily, and they give you an effortless look that doesn't look like makeup. The creamy lip pencils are perfectly bold without being overdone, and they last throughout the day. Miracle Balm, the hero product, is an all-in-one tint that can be used as a highlighter, blush, or bronzer to give your skin that flushed, fresh, healthy glow. What sets Jones Road apart is the simplicity. It's just high quality, versatile products made with clean ingredients, no toxins, no junk. Plus, it's American made and it's named after Jones Road out in my stomping grounds in East Hampton. If you're ready to give Jones Road Beauty a try, use code NERVE at jonesroadbeauty.com and get a free gift with your purchase. jonesroadbeauty.com, code NERVE.